Hey, Coolio, how you doing? How's it going? Hey, Allison. Hey, Veronica, how you doing? Hey, Dorothy. How you guys hanging in there? Okay. Hey, Lisa. Hello, Paul. Hey, Victoria. Kind of a cold, damp, dreary day here. How's it going, Lisa? Hey, Side. How are you? Hey, Caroline. How you doing? Hey, Daisy girl. You good girl, huh? Good. Hey, Mandy. Take care. Because you can't go to Detroit, there's a travel restriction. Daisy's great. Good, Celia. How you doing? How's it going? Yeah, you're not supposed to travel anywhere. Detroit's dead anyway. Nobody outside. So it's not like I'm missing anything. Yeah, I know the feeling, Celia. You know, I was looking through some old videos to upload, so I just uploaded a couple ones that I uploaded before. You know, it's slim pickings. Man, these people get pissed when you upload a video that had already been up before. Nah, John, you're dead here. Nothing going on. Nothing wrong with that, Celia. I had a big coffee this morning. Which kind, Kim? Which kind of woodpecker do you know? There you go. Oh yeah, we got a lot of those up here. It's 2 pair actually. Look like dinosaurs to me. Oh wow, what kind of hawks, you know? Nope. Hey Sue. Yeah, me too. Yeah, you too, Victoria. Boring's and slow here. It really is. Going up to Aldi's today. Hey, I noticed the lottery tickets they seem to be paying more prizes when you don't win. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool, Sue. They're not any good anymore. There's no incentive to have rental properties. They cost too much. I don't know if you've ever been a landlord, but it's a super big pain in the ass. And it takes an act of Congress to get somebody evicted now if they don't pay rent, particularly in these times. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Oh, wow, Kim, that is cool. I was watching a YouTube video last night where they had sulfur-crested cockatoos. Just tons of them flying on this lady's porch. Pretty cool. Yeah, no way. In the 70s and 80s, it was a gold mine, but not anymore. And like I said, getting somebody out when they're not paying is damn near impossible now. And when you got a deal like this, even though they weren't paying their rent before this pandemic started, the courts aren't going to allow you to evict them. It's nonsense. Yeah, forget it. Eyes on rentals now. In the old days, you could just insure it as if you were living there. Well, it's not like that anymore. Oh, okay, so yeah, they do, Kim. Yeah, you can eventually get them out, but it takes forever. And even if they let some bum come and stay with them that never paid a bit of rent, he's got rights too after he sets it up as a mailing address. I do, Zach. There's no way I'd invest in real estate. Absolutely not. You can't give away property most places now. And these, communities are running out of money, so they're trying to figure out ways to assess them differently. Because not that many people are contributing to the piece of pie. And you look at insurance now on homes, it's not cheap like it used to be, even if you have good credit, no claims. And if your insurance company finds out it's a rental, God knows what they'll charge you. There was a good time for rentals, but it's not anymore. Now it's hanging on to what you have and not risking it. I got a notice that says unstable connection, so I don't know if this thing is working right now. You can tell it's acting up. Mondays are usually really bad for YouTube chats. They must update their servers. Way harder to operate, way harder. Yeah, I believe it too. Yeah. Because the piece of pie is so small, there's not as much business to go around. Insurance premiums are high. Liability insurance is crazy. Workers' comp is through the roof. And you got everybody out there trying to hang in business, cutting their prices. There's a lot of businesses out there now that just meet payroll and pay themselves. It's like buying yourself a job. It's not the traditional formula for business. Yeah, it's buffering. I keep getting a notice. Yeah, I mean, the economy in this country is shot, man. I don't give a shit what they say in the news. Absolutely no way. All the good locations are gone from the franchises like McDonald's. If you got half a brain, you can start your own whatever it is. If I was going to look into a franchise, I'd consider a Jets Pizza left. Burger King, they don't gross that much. Kentucky Fried Chickens are spotty. Yeah, I'm getting the same thing, Celia. No, I don't know what to suggest. I'd get a Jets Pieces, but I'd make sure I didn't get it in a lower socio-economic place because it's good pizza. They use quality ingredients, and you're not going to compete with Little Caesars that who knows, God knows what for their cheese. But you got to be in a place where people are willing to pay for a quality product rather than 2-for-1 garbage can lid-sized pizzas for $5. You've got to compete against a bunch of lower income people. You're not going to make it. Hallmark's a gold mine if you're in the right community. Absolute money-making, mint-producing business. Great business. Hey, Stacy, how you doing? Yeah, I never tried that ranch dressing. Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, in case it hasn't dawned on some people, the middle class is slowly eroding. The majority of people up in this county that I live in, they're the working poor. They don't make enough money to really own anything. They're paying crazy rent. Their car insurance is through the roof. Gas is high. I mean, it's lower than it was. But when you're making $10 an hour, you're not supporting anybody. You're living in the top part of your mother's garage and buying her a dinner once a week. Good, Stacy. Yeah, going pretty good here. It's a different economy now, man. Times have changed. You were born too late, Zach. You missed the good old days. Hey, Tassie, how you doing? Yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's, you got 2% of the population that's controlling a lot of the wealth. You still have places like Palm Beach, Florida, where they'll go and spend $8 million for a home and tear it down and then build their dream home. Hey, Brenda, how you doing? How's it going? Yeah. Yeah, the 401, if you can get it into a guaranteed FDIC bank sponsored 401k. If you can't, that's a roll of the dice as well. I mean, none of these investments pay anything anymore. In the old days, when I was young, you could double your investment every 7 years in conservative investments. Those are out the window. Yeah, you too, Morgan. It's just, tough out there, man. And, things like what's going on now doesn't do any help. Young people, unless they had, a great job, I don't know how you ever save up, get a house or anything anymore. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, the middle class is basically disappearing. It's actually worse than it looks out there because you got a lot of baby boomers like me that were around in the good old days. And once we die off, you're really going to get an accurate picture of who can afford to live. The Wall Street Journal just wrote an article about 6 months ago, and they said the typical middle class people, what's left of it, can't even afford a new car now. Yeah, although if you look at a place like Palm Beach, Florida, they were never supporting it from day one. They are paying a lot of taxes though, so they really are supporting the economy. Look at the property tax in Florida for places in Palm Beach. Even if they're not there, they're paying more than the people that live there. That's true, Zach. Yeah. Yeah, it's buffering. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Celia. Yep. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Oh, not much. Just hanging in here. Fooling around in my videos. Yeah, that's true, Zach. Yep. What I notice the biggest difference is in insurance. And your credit rating is part of your insurance premium. So if you got crappy credit and you're forced to get insurance because you have a mortgage or a car payment, you're doubly screwed. Yeah, me too, Greg. Same way. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not starting out, I'll tell you that. I would say end all the suffering. That's what I would do. People with terminal and chronic diseases. If I could go back, yeah, that's what I would do. Predict the future and do whatever you could to head it off at the past. I mean, you couldn't do that with diseases, but if I could just flick a switch, I'd rather like help people than have a lot of money. Daisy's good. She's sleeping behind me. Hey Ray, how you doing? You know, back then when I was going to college, you know, it was cheap. I don't remember anybody ever complaining about tuition or anything. I drove a new car when I went to college, worked part-time jobs. You know, a dollar had some real buying power. But not only has inflation ticked away at the value of a dollar, everything's went up exponentially. I mean, you got gas, rent, insurance, food. Look how much food costs now. The next thing I suspect will have difficulty hanging in there are restaurants, because their food costs are just so ridiculously high. Unless you're running specials on Sloppy Joe's, you're not going to be selling aged steak and sushi. You can already see restaurants falling off left and right. Hey J Money, how you doing? I mean, the infrastructure is in real trouble. Back in the old days, like when you had the big three around Detroit, these people had, you know, livable wages. No, I never encourage people to hit likes or any of that stuff, but thanks, Morgan. What I always did, get the cheapest possible for 30-year and make an extra payment when you can. I've made that mistake in my life a couple times where you wanted the lowest payment possible, so you're remortgaged. Not a good idea. You start over again, and there goes your equity. Yeah, 30-year and make an extra payment when you can. Fix too. Boy, in these financial times, I would never get an ARM. No way. Because if things do get good, which you always hope they do, you're going to get it broke off in your ass. Yeah, you probably have seen me down around Tireman. I don't get over that area that much, but I do, you know. Yeah, I believe that, Kim, yeah. Oh, really, Greg? Okay. Yeah, I see the Amish about the other day. I'd like to be able to justify going out and doing some photography, but they don't want you driving around, so I'm not doing it. Sucks. Uploading old movies. I'm uploading a monster video clip of clouds right now. It's an hour and 10 minutes long. It takes forever to watch it. Yeah, I mean, I hate when people ask me those questions because it's going to be a negative answer, but I can't think of a positive one. Sucks. You know, you try and like be upbeat during these times, but when you really think about it, I mean, what's there to be happy about? Sucks, man. You know, I don't want to be that kind of like Chandler, crappy ass Debbie Downer. There's a lot of selfish people out there, I'll tell you that. I think the cops ought to go down and sit at the ramp and give tickets to people that aren't from here. Hey Zach, hey Tweety, how you doing? Oh my God, sorry about that, Tweety. Yeah, that'll do it, Kim. Yeah, and then if things are tough, you can slow down. You're not going to worry about going into default. Homeless escorts around here. Oh, really? Huh? They're not escorts. They're prostitutes. Big difference. Yeah, sorry about that, Tweety. Yeah, yeah. All right, Celia, good luck with everything. Yep, have a good day. Good as you can. I mean, you think back to the old days, all you had to do is make a decision and do it. It was a good move. It was a no-brainer. But now it's like shit. People like Zach asking me these questions. I don't know what the hell to tell them. I'd be just making shit up. You too, Celia. Have a good day. So, yeah, I figure I'll probably be alive like maybe another 10 or 15 years at the most. I'm just going to do YouTube and take photos. Fuck it. Yeah, I don't know how these young people, I mean, what they'll do is they'll let them into mortgages they really can't afford. Yeah, thank you, Lee. Hope you are too. Yeah, man, as soon as I'd be, if this damn travel restriction was over, I'd hit the road tomorrow. I just think you got to be a selfish douchebag to drive around when they're asking you not to. I'm already going crazy, and they just tacked on. Now it's for a whole extra month. Yeah, coward. I don't blame you. Mine's going to be RBEG 10. It's interesting how you look at like drinking. Yeah, not till the end of April. People, say that drinking's it's bad for you. Well, would you rather sit around sober or have a cocktail or two as you're surfing the net? I'd rather have a cocktail or two. I mean, let's face it, you drink because of the way it makes you feel. If they sold alcohol-free whiskey, it'd sit on the shelf for 100 years. Well, the reason for that in Detroit is because 80% of the people that are city residents aren't insured. I mean, sooner or later, the buck gets passed and someone's got to pay up. So these insurance companies are paying for all these claims, and subrogation is basically non-existent because 80% of the people don't have anything to collect. I think there's an argument for that sometimes, Rappin. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, Tweety. You better get moving on that. Better finish those movies off while you got this kind of time. No, it's not the same as it was 40 years ago. Yeah, no. But the opportunity to make money is nowhere near the way it is for you, like it was for me, Zach. Nice, Sammy. Oh, really, Lee, huh? Yeah, well, people are, I mean, that's what the federal government's for times like this. That's what they're supposed to do. I can't imagine being a small business now, like a restaurant or something. My God, they got to be just shitting bricks. They're worried about long holidays where there isn't much traffic. Now they got a whole damn month with 20 days of weekday business that's been scratched. Yeah. Even, like detective agencies, all sorts of shit, man. It's hard to recover from something like this. People find other things to do. That's right, Tweety. You're right. Tweety, get those. You're sitting on a gold mine. I told you that the other night, Tweety. You've actually got recent video when people used to go on cruise ships. They're going to look at that and serve popcorn and alcohol while people think, wow, all those people on that big boat having fun? When was that? Well, that's when Tweety was there with her camera. You documented a significant time in a worldwide culture. That a girl, Tweety. Heck yeah. I can remember the good old days when people worried about getting a cold. Shit, or the flu, regular flu. I just got a book in the mail today talking about flu and how it spreads worldwide, and mutates, and invades the nucleus of the cell, and blah, blah, blah. Super interesting. I'm going to read it tonight when I go to bed. Isn't that the truth, Tweety? Tweety, at your young age, you've really been hit with a head-on collision as far as change. Zach, too. You guys just saw a glimmer of what could have been, and you've been smacked right in the face with, like, you got to be kidding. I mean, there were books written about this. I got to give old Bill Gates. I can't figure out if Bill Gates is that damn smart. Obviously, he's an intelligent guy. It's interesting to me how, a computer genius took interest in pandemics and basically predicted this 4 years ago very accurately. That's interesting to me. This guy got a crystal ball or what? Well, I don't know about that, Casey. Yeah, right. Yeah, Lisa, isn't that something? I'm not a breakfast guy. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? Carrie, I think you should switch to Totally the Blues. It's more relevant for this time. Oh, wow. Sorry about that. He was healthy. Well, I don't really know of any. I've been kind of following a Detroit news anchor, WDIV, young black guy, and he's talking about, living with this damn flu virus. Who's that, Irene? Who's a copyright stealer? Yeah. I'd be more worried about Daisy getting the flu than me. Who are you talking about, Greg? Oh, Bill Gates? Yeah, I mean, that happens in that business. There isn't any proof of it, is there? It's not a fake virus. Josh, we'll see you later. We just don't want to. This is an idiot-free Monday. It is Scienceville, I agree. Hello, Stephanie. Hey, Mo, how you doing? I can remember when it goes to show you how life is like this, doors opening and closing. There's always been good software programs better than Microsoft Windows, but nobody ever knew about them. It's timing, how you get picked up, who buys you. When Microsoft first came out and you had a problem with their program, they'd tell you to go to hell. Rude, hang up on you, not answer the phone. Anybody remember that interview with Bill Gates where he was wiping his mouth with the sleeve of his shirt? They were making so much money and it looked like he was going to control the infrastructure of the whole world that he just acted any way he wanted to. I think that pie in the face really changed his attitude in a lot of ways. I really do. Oh, okay, Karen. I'll have to check that out. Global Reset is right, Bill. I mean, I use it, I'm not an Apple guy at all. That stuff is so ridiculously overpriced. Well, I mean, they're a good computer, but if everybody used 8 cores like they did to process video, they wouldn't have that problem either. I mean, look how much they cost. If you took that same money and put it into a PC, it's just as good. Yeah, Bill, it's their money. They can do what they want with it. What's that, Greg? Oh, that's a good song, Jerry. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Brenda. Have a good day. Yeah, so what if it's a write-off? If you ever talk to a CPA, you're better off having the money and investing it rather than a write-off. So it's still these guys can't win. They donate $10 million and people are critical that they're writing it off. What the fuck? Yeah, Nickelback, boy, did they seem to piss off their fans a few years ago. I was going down to Tunica, Mississippi, to the casinos back around 2002, 3. And the whole time you'd be there gambling, you'd hear Nickelback playing in the background at a cover band. I do think it's going to a cashless society. That's true, Rapping Around, you're right. SSD is the way to go. It's amazing how much faster it is, even when it's small. Hey, James, how you doing? Oh, thank you. Cash is dirty. I had an old girlfriend in college. She was always talking about how dirty cash was. Hey, Emily, how you doing? I don't blame them. Super dirty. Yeah, it's a roll of the dice, Rapping. I don't trust that Bitcoin. I'm still an old-fashioned FDIC-backed guy. Yeah, I keep hearing different stories. I mean, I'm interested in it, but I'm so goddamn sick of hearing about this shit. Every time I turn on my computer, it's some big orange and yellow blinking coronavirus update. You're right, Rappin. Hey, Mega, how you doing? Well, the feds won a lawsuit about their ability to get Bitcoin information, which was one of the big advantages, especially if you were a money launderer. Yeah, I know, Carrie, but Carrie, life's like that. You know, minus a crystal ball. At the time he was doing the right thing. You just no way of knowing it, you know? It is tweeting. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, I mean, you could. I think the governments would love to see us go in a cashless society. Let me tell you, like the franchises, McDonald's, those kind of things, all that stuff, all those registers now are wired into headquarters. The days of skimming cash, owning a bar or a fruit market, and having these shoeboxes full of cash or peep shows or wherever the hell you ran to, those are really coming to an end. It's going to get to the point now where like you'll have cash and you won't know what to do with it because people aren't going to accept it. There's an old guy I knew in Florida, and we used to talk about all sorts of shit. And I was always thinking if I was doing those long beach walks that I'd find, $500,000 worth of $50 bills in a knapsack that washed up on the shore. He said, do the right thing, Tom. Take it and turn it into the police. And for 30 years, I didn't really understand what he was telling me, but I get it now. And that was some good advice. Kind of like No Country for Old Men. Leave the damn money there. Be careful what you wish for. Yeah, barter system. Yeah. Carrie, though, but Carrie, you got to be a little worried because, you've witnessed at your young age, live entertainment's getting to be a thing of the past. What's your plans for that happening? Do you have a plan B? Yeah, but capitalism drives everything, Jimmy. There's nothing wrong with profit. Don't villainize it. That's a good question. Yeah, it has, Carrie. Yeah, it sure is. When I was coming up here in the late 70s, you could go to the Row Tavern. There were 3 bars, and there'd be a line to get in to see live entertainment bands. You'd stand in line. Yeah, digital performances. Yeah. I was thinking back. I was looking at Pornhub last night, and if you look back in the old 60s and 70s, and the people that were doing that kind of stuff were just like not the greatest looking. Man, it's not like that anymore. There's better women on there doing live shows than you'd see in the Miss America or Miss World. It's like no big deal anymore. All right, Tim. Oh, really? There's a guy that I hired one time to play at a church in Chicago, David Nevue, Nevue. He's a piano player. And he's kind of like a expert at publishing your own music and how to do it. You might want to look him up, Gary. David Nevue. He's a total douchebag, but he seems to know what he's talking about marketing yourself and getting paid for your music. He made pretty decent money third party. Oh, thank you, Rappin' Ron. Yeah, that is true, but I just think they're better looking people. And plastic surgery isn't much of a attraction to people in their 20s. I wasn't suggesting that older people are making more porn now because they can get plastic surgery. I'm just telling you that in general, there's plenty of attractive people doing that now that look better than you'd see on a world stage of Miss America or Miss World or any of those type deals. Oh, Bitcoin, it's interesting, Carrie. It'd take forever to explain it, but look it up. That's how you launder money. Carrie, too, you probably noticed in a cash business, where they pay entertainers, it's getting to where they're going to want to issue a check. Women have changed. I would agree with that. In my lifetime, they have. Yeah, yeah. Beautiful women, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, it's something else. I'm not complaining, believe me. It's just like I am married, but I haven't lived with my wife in like 22 years. Yeah, different times now, that's for sure. You look at marriage too, that's way down. I can see why. They talk about the divorce rate being up. I think a lot of the reason for that is because women can support themselves now. I think the rate would have been the same 150 years ago if they were able to get jobs and not have to kiss a man's ass to live. I think that's the reason. I don't think the behaviors changed that much. I mean, there is an argument for feminists in that they wanted equal rights. Well, they got them there. Now you can work full time and raise the kids. I don't think it'll change. I don't think the virus will have anything to do with divorce rates. Yeah. I mean, let's face it, man. I mean, it seems like that society has taken a turn to where it became more of what's the real deal here rather than what you should do. I mean, the Catholic Church is already hanging on to the last surviving members they have. They're still got that hot potato gay relationships that they really don't know how to come up with an answer with. But church attendance is down. I mean, in this day and age, when you're not going to be all in on gay marriages, you can very well expect your congregation to shrink. Oh, really, Jackie? Okay. Yeah, I mean, people now, if it's not fun, I mean, I just don't think that. Look, to me, it just seems if you're lucky enough to change at the same rate somebody else is and want the same things, well, those are the 50-year golden wedding anniversaries. But nowadays, you got a lot of options. You can support yourself. You can find somebody that is more of a match than you married. I mean, it happens. If it feels good, do it. I think you could. They're not going to know what you did with your stimulus money. Once you get it and cash that check, you can do with it whatever you want. Yeah, I think marriage just fits to like certain type people. And now a lot of places will, if you're gay, your partner can get your benefits. So, you know, where you really lose out is if you've been living together for 20 years and your partner gets killed in a head-on collision and you're not legally married, you're not going to be able to file any kind of lawsuit. And I'm really not sure how Social Security works for kids born out of wedlock with regard to Social Security. I think they're probably up shit creek if the daddy gets killed and he was the sole provider. Yeah, poor old Marguerite, huh? Here's Dakota as another. Dakota, have you ever had your IQ tested? Just kind of curious what it is. Yeah, that's kind of changing too, though, 6K for a Bitcoin, is that what it is now? Wow. Hey, Oki, how you doing? We're solving the world's problems. Now, Oki would be a good person to ask about this. We're talking about marriage, Oki. You're the in-house resident expert. Oki's idea was if it doesn't work, take another bite at the apple. She finally found true love. Right, Oki? Yeah, somebody'd have to be crazy to marry me. It just doesn't make any sense. My neighbor next door is getting divorced now. I don't know him. No, I don't know that Tom. Oh, like us? Yeah, on the radio? Yeah, sure do. Is he still around? Look at Bill. Cheryl thinks that I'm outside. You're thinking again, Cheryl. Bye-bye. Have a great day. You have a great day. You have a great day. That's the way I look at it, okay? And if it means, I'm the same way. Happiness is a moving target. Oh, okay. You have to check that out. I thought about doing podcasts, but man, all that bullshit you got to go through. I think I'd rather do an internet radio station with live calling. Oh, okay, Jackie. Yeah, well, it's not up to me. It's a condominium. I'd get a fine if I went out and planted some flowers. It's not up to me. Yeah, Carrie, you're not married, are you? Hey, Martin, how you doing? Carrie, you're not married, are you? See, Tweety, you'd probably be married if it was 40 years ago. You couldn't have got away with that. I don't think it. Are you sure about that, Jackie? I don't think it needs to be certified, does it? Yeah, well, I mean, I think there's a possibility of that in any long-term relationship. I mean, I just get sick of being around people after a while. Oh, okay, Carrie, that's cool. Hey, Larry, how you doing? Hello, Sherry. Yeah, it's a personal decision, you know. Yeah, how about your church, Tweety? How about your church? Yeah, Carrie. Yeah, there you go. Right. No, I know what you mean, Okie. Yeah, you're right. Oh, sorry about that, Hitman. Yeah, so are mine. Yep. Well, that's the theory of survival for human beings, that there are always going to be enough offspring produced no matter what the circumstances are. When you have young people, even if they're drug addicts and drunks and whatever else, don't take care of themselves, they can produce healthy offspring. So there's kids out of wedlock keep the world going around just as much as the people that have committed relationships. You're always guaranteed that you're going to have this population replaced. Although, baby births are way down and the government's already worried about it. Oh, a funeral plan? Yeah, I bought a plot about 10 years ago. That's all right. Well, I mean, there's a lot of reasons that people do it, Ookie. At the right, I tell people all the time, at the time I did certain things, it seemed like the right thing to do. Yeah, 10 years down the road, I look like the village idiot. But at the time, I wasn't trying to self sabotage myself. At the time, I thought I was doing the right thing. You think so, Tweety? I don't think it'll be the baby boom like they talked about back in the day. I mean, there's too much birth control out there. You know, I mean, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. It'll be curious to see the numbers on that, though. Yeah, those are young people, Tim. Oh, I like that idea, Carrie. Yeah, that's unique. What I will say is that you should buy more lottery tickets now because it seems like I'm winning like nothing great, but the state seems to have amped up the losers pots. Yeah, I agree, Opie. That's exactly right. Yeah. There's just so many variables in why people do what they do and why they change their minds. I mean, it's the human element. It's always there. Yeah, that's right, Carrie. Be a frying on you better believe it will be. Yeah. I'm just hoping that this damn bullshit doesn't take off like they're kind of alluding it's going to. Carrie, what do you think of all these people from down below coming up here and going to the gas stations and Walmarts? I think they ought to give them tickets and send them back home. That's going to be interesting, Tweety. You're right. That's exactly right. Yeah, Chevy Astro van. No, it doesn't work that way, Hitman. You're a gambler. Poor man's tax. You think the billionaires buying lottery tickets? No way. Murdered his wife and then killed himself. You know, that happens a lot. It really does. I can think of a few since I've lived up here. Yeah. Yeah, murder, suicides. I feel bad for some of these people up here that have kids, but they still have to work. They're working some bullshit job. They can't afford daycare. Oh, wow, Twiggy. Yeah, but self-quarantine's too long. They won't, though. It's not like they go up here and stay in their cabins. They're going to go to Walmart, and that's where all that damn shit's coming from, Macomb, Oakland, and Wayne County. Tell them to stay home. I think they should just sit at the exit and write them tickets. Oh, wow. There was a deal here about 4 years ago in Detroit where a guy and his daughter had bought some foreclosures in Detroit. Long story short, they went over to collect rent. They told them, get the hell out of here. We're not moving, blah, blah, blah. Went back another week later, and they caught him stealing the fixtures, the lamps and what have you. An argument ensued, and the tenant killed the guy and his daughter. Here they were doing the right thing, trying to come up with an investment portfolio, worked hard enough to get other property, and they're both dead because of it. No, it wasn't cross up, no. Yeah, I never thought of it that way. Okay, it makes sense. Oh yeah, Amazon. Well, I'll tell you, man, I don't know if that's the media onslaught of trying to villainize Amazon because they've been successful in capitalism, or they're really just a bunch of douchebags that run the company. I really don't know what to say on that. I mean, I'm sure their warehouses are filled with tons of shit sent from Asia. I'm not really convinced how you get rid of this stuff on packages and stuff. But if they're making, I can't say that I'd vote for Amazon being a necessary business to stay open. Oh, congratulations, James. I don't think it'd be possible for me for a relationship with a female to be my best friend too. That sounds great. Some people do it, but to me, it's a different relationship than a best friend in more ways than one. Hey, Starlight. Yeah, I take care. It takes time. I was stuck at like 20 for like years. It's so hard to get a channel going now. I couldn't do it again. I mean, mine was all luck anyway. I was already kind of around before YouTube kind of took off. Once you get a viral video, I mean, I think you could be the best singer and songwriter in the world and never get a successful YouTube channel. I mean, just look at the killer musicians on there. YouTube doesn't make sense. I mean, here you got a squirrel trying to eat a bird's feed out of a bird feeder. It gets 10 million views, and you got a guy that's a neurosurgeon that just came up with a new pediatric blood vessel surgery for mankind, and he gets 10 views. Just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I left mine in there a week, Jackie. 18. Wow, okay. Subs don't really mean shit. I mean, if you're trying to build a channel, what you want is viewers. There is a relationship between subscribers and viewers, but it's not as significant as you think. 94% of the people that view my videos are not subscribers. So that's how you see such a spike in the views compared to the amount of subscribers. Subscribers seems like a lot. Like I have 115,000, I think. But that, that's only 5% of the people that actually watch the videos regularly. So it's kind of deceiving. No, that's how it is, Tweety. I see it all the time. Yeah, I see it all the time. Hey, Wanda, how you doing? How's River Rouge treating you? Got to be deader than a doornail down there. What are they getting for gas at that 76 gas station on West Jefferson? That's how it is, Tweety. It's a weird deal. I mean, your videos are 10 times better than anything I ever did, for sure. Yeah, definitely. So crazy. I think YouTube, I don't know whether it just works out that way, but it's almost like you could have the greatest content in the world, and YouTube wouldn't let it get popular until it was out there for 4 or 5 years. Once you get established, it's different. Yeah, it's so weird, Carrie. But you're probably at the age, Carrie, where Facebook, everybody you came in contact with and every place you played wanted to be Facebook friends because everybody's trying to jack up their own friend count. Yeah, YouTube's a different animal. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it is, Tweety. I mean, it's the truth of the matter. It's how it is. I mean, it's like subscribers and views to me aren't any sign that you're doing a good thing. It really isn't valid. I mean, it works out that way, and it seems to be some faux credibility with people. I think they watch videos they normally wouldn't have watched because they see this 115,000 subscriber bullshit. It doesn't really, yeah, it's funny how it works, Okie, though. You'd be surprised. I mean, I wish I'd like to tell you that I understand what works on YouTube, but I really don't. You would think by now I could predict what people want to watch. I can't. Even with my photos, I think, wow, this is really great, man. It's great. I'm going to upload this. People will like it. Doesn't do shit. Then I'll get something on there that I upload accidentally. It gets 10 times the views of something that I thought was cool. Oh, okay, Wanda. All right. Oh, interesting, James. Oh, thank you. Like the front yard? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, nobody's got all the answers. You just roll with it and hope for the best. Yeah, hit or miss. You're right, Emily. That's what I did. That's how I started mine. I still do, really. I still go back and watch like old videos. Like, wow, I can't believe it was this long. I uploaded a couple old videos today. Kelly, Marguerite, and Maddie. And it was only because I was scrolling down through stuff that I thought I'd upload. Man, do people send shitty emails? They're tired of my spam. They're going to unsubscribe. Fuck them. Big deal. If I get things that I'm a subscriber to, I just delete it. What's the big deal? There's a lot of wacko, weird people, man, on YouTube. I guess we ought to be thankful that we get to see their true faces when they think they can make comments why we really don't know who they are. Yeah, that happens to you. It's faux credibility. It really is. Yeah, They're just nuts. I just uploaded a clouds video, 110 minutes long. That doesn't put you to sleep, nothing will. Yeah, I mean, Kelly is just, I sympathize and empathize with her position in life. I mean, think about it, Oki, just to actually be down there with your daughter all these years, it's got to do something to you. I mean, I don't like her personally. I tried to just hang in there and treat her like everybody else, but it just got to where I couldn't stand it any longer. How many people have I interviewed that have passed away? I think 4. Penny, Monica, Angel, and Kelly. Not the last time I visited because that hadn't really taken off yet, but they are now. Hey, Bravo, how you doing? But they are now. I mean, you get down in those areas and people in that kind of activity. I mean, it's hepatitis C, HIV positive, herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, you name it. And it's like life goes on, then all of a sudden this coronavirus comes around. They're looking at death down the end of the barrel. And it seems to be quite a wake-up call for some of them. It's just interesting to me how you could like turn a blind eye to your daily life's activities for years with regards to STDs and violence, and now the flu's got you upset. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I find it kind of ironic. Yeah, that's what I say, Hitman. Hey, Andy, how you doing? Hello, Mark. No, I did Tiffany. No, I did not. Did not Tiffany. This Stephanie that just died and her boyfriend Brian. That was his girlfriend that got murdered. I talked to him one time, just briefly. Both those people that just died, Brian and Stephanie, those are the 2 people that I talked to when I was interviewing Jamie and Ebony at McDonald's. We'd met out in the parking lot. Stephanie wanted to do an interview later. She didn't think she had the right makeup on at the time. I didn't talk to Brian about it because his girlfriend had just got murdered. He was having a hard time dealing with that. But she died of that endocarditis, and I don't know how he died. But they're both gone now. And that was just last summer. Good, Indy. Oh, okay, Greg. Yeah, man, that's a high mortality rate down around there. Yeah, I find that's hard to do though. I mean, like now people are appreciating their ability to freely travel more than they ever have. Unless you have something that gives you a life check, it's difficult to appreciate. I know I could be a quadriplegic and I'm not. I should feel a lot better about not being one, but it's hard to do when you're not in that position. Yeah, it's Daisy Shoring. Yeah, I don't, but their customer count is in the tank, Wanda. I agree, Andy. Go on FlightAware right now. Download that app. There's airplanes flying up all over now, all night, all day long. Hey, Cable, how you doing? There's my neighbor. She's going crazy with her 3 kids. You see that camera in reverse. They're actually leaving, not coming home. Yeah, you're right, Jackie. That's true. Trolls will get to you. They get to you at the beginning, but after a while, it gets to where You know, they dig themselves a huge hole. That kook out in Las Vegas, and that lunatic in Prince Edward Island, they've all buried themselves with their hate. Oh, thank you, Hitman. I hope that's true. Thank you. What is it that changed you? Because all I did was interview a person that was having a tough time. How was that the impetus for you making some kind of change? I'm curious. I don't think I did it. Thank you for the compliment. I think you heard another person's story and realized what that would lead to. But I'm curious what flipped the old light switch for you. You're right, James. That's true. Hey, Louise, how you doing? I always think of Dorian Kinsey when I see your name. Oh, is it down that much, Cable? Oh, okay. But it's still a lot of traffic in and out, you know? Yeah, I mean, I think I'm nice to him. I mean, I don't think I deserve any kind of accolades. I mean, really, I know when I do something that's significant and I went out of my way and it was time consuming, but really, I don't consider anything I've done that you guys have watched any big deal. I really don't. Oh, okay, Hitman. Well, congratulations. It still took you to do the change. I mean, oh, that makes Andy. I never thought of it that way. Huh? That's interesting. Man, can you imagine just getting in one of those tubes now and have the guy sitting next to you sneezing the whole way home? You'd want to strangle him. This definitely, people are on edge. Oh, interesting, Cable. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think it's compassion. I thought that I was just treating him like normal. Oh God, and isn't that crazy? I think so. Right now we are, Nico. Yeah, I think we are. I'm not 100% positive in that. There you go, Louise. You deserve it. Yeah, Carrie, but I just don't. I mean, I mean, I don't think anybody. I mean, who would think of anything other than that? I thought it was interesting. I mean, honestly, I mentioned this before. When I see someone having knowledge of what being a heroin addict and working the streets will do to you, it's interesting to me that somebody would contribute to their own demise like that. And it shows you the power of addiction. That's why I interviewed them. I thought, wow, this is interesting. I just like to get their side of the story. I never thought in a million years anybody else gave any interest in it at all, you know? I'd say it depends, anywhere from 6 months, 6 years to 6 months, you know? Yeah, I just wouldn't think of it in any other way, Wanda, really. Oh, thank you, Nico. Appreciate it. I wouldn't really call it work. It's more or less a hobby that's, you know, I was doing photography and stuff and in those areas anyway, and just decided I would maybe interview him one day. Oh, do you really, Carrie? Huh? Really, huh? Huh. Yeah, isn't that the truth, Mark? Yeah, that's exactly it, Evil. I agree with you. Oh, thank you, Nico. I mean, to me, just from what I've learned since I've done it, is that there's got to be a mentor or a follow-up program. You know, and I did that when I was down there last and talked to Miranda. She said she loved to have somebody sponsor her and take her and have her in their home. She didn't care where it was at. You know, I don't know, Hitman. I don't know. They haven't uploaded videos and I haven't talked to them. Oh, thank you, James. Yeah, I mean, I some of the times, Indy, you know. Enablers, well, you know, it depends what you consider an enabler. That gets thrown out a lot. Enabler runs from A to Z. It depends. Do you think if I give $10 for a 5-minute interview, I'm enabling? I don't. If I'm giving $100 a day, I do. So, you know, it isn't one size fits all. I don't think I'm enabling. I mean, enabling is so overused, it's ridiculous. Yeah, that's not cool. Okay, you know, I don't know of anybody that's that way towards them. It's kind of a surprise to me. I know it happens, but nothing that I knew of personally. You know, helps them come. Yeah, I mean, I got a sister that enabled herself right out of business with 6 McDonald's franchises. I think she was a single parent and had a son that never worked, and they're both broke now, and he has 9 kids and no job. So I've seen enabling at the extreme. Oh, thank you, Louise. Probably is, Mark. No, it's true, Carrie. I mean, you know, when I'm down there, my role has never been to go down there and help anybody. I'm not capable of it. I have no training in it. If they need a ride to rehab, I'd be glad to give it to them. If they need some money for lunch, you know, I think $10 for 5 minutes is more of a courtesy than it is any kind of enabling for drugs. I'm sure it goes to drugs, but I'm not going to quit giving them $10 because of it. Yeah, I agree, Mark. It's a big difference. Yeah, I don't think that I do. I mean, maybe I do. I'm sure I've been manipulated. I mean, shit, I had girlfriends, wives, employers. I've been manipulated my whole goddamn life. My dog manipulates me. I wake up with a stiff neck because I don't want to move because she's sleeping out at the end near my feet. I mean, you know, it all depends how you categorize these things. They do buy something to eat. I watched them do it. Yeah, exactly, Gary. That's exactly right. Yeah, they feel stuck. They want a better life. I mean, they're a world away from it, okay? I mean, to go from where they're at now, it's just 1,000 times easier to remain a drug addicted street worker because, you know, for them to get like you are now, Oki, is like building your own rocket ship and flying to the moon. This isn't like losing 10 pounds and getting in shape in the spring. This is like monumental. Yeah, I don't know about that, Michelle. I mean, I don't think I am. You know, there are plenty of people out there that, yeah, damp cold night like tonight, hungry, dope sick. My God. Yeah, I mean, other people think they serve a greater purpose. I never said that. They're not really sending them big quantities of money. One, yeah, I mean, their stress level is very low. No, that idea is a tough one. Yeah, I mean, you always look at the human element. I mean, you'll if you ever get a YouTube channel and you start getting some subscribers, this is what I've learned. I've learned that there's no method to the madness. I've learned that white is way more popular than black, that young is way more attractive than old. The white girls, everybody wants to help and save. The black girls, they wish good luck to. It's so obvious, it's ridiculous. I mean, I've mentioned this before, you guys have heard it before, but there are people on here that haven't, and that is, if I wanted to really have a super successful channel and gave a shit about likes and looks and shares and subscriptions, all I would do was travel the country looking for blue-eyed, blonde-haired, white heroin addicts that work the street. I would make bank up to yin yang. That's what sells. I mean, don't you find it ironic how popular Maddie is compared to some of the other people? Everybody wants to save Maddie from the big old bad black guy. What can they do to help Maddie? What does Maddie need? Marguerite, she's a nice old lady that had bad luck in her life. It's totally obvious. And when you crunch the data that YouTube provides you, I could just print you a report and you can tell how much society is sexist, racist, biased, selfish, or have their own agenda for the human element of being attracted to the more attractive people that I interview. I mean, you got to admit, it's easy to dislike Kelly. It's not easy to not really like Maddie a lot. She's not my type, man, Wanda. She's not my type. But if you look at her compared to other people that I interview, Maddie is very popular. They click it. Where you notice it is before they've ever heard a peep out of anybody's mouth. You notice it by the thumbnails that they click on. Before anybody said a word, it's you really get an idea of what society likes. Yeah, it's really like that, Hitman. Yeah. Jamie's another one. I get emails from guys all the time. Jamie, the girl that went to Michigan State, Jennifer, Maddie. You know, Jamie, people got an extra room in their house. She can come whenever she wants. With Marguerite, good luck to you. Let me send you a used book. Yeah, she did, Emily. Yeah, yeah, kids, a husband, a nice dad, as far as I know. Yeah, Ebony's a super sharp, personable individual, but I'm telling you, the powers of that damn addiction. Well, you know, Louise, that used to be my old answer, come back to people. They'd say, well, they're just using that money for drugs. And I used to naively believe that the $10 I gave them would be one less sexual interaction with a potential serial killer. And it doesn't really work that way. What I've learned after doing this is that not only do they have the $10, they still go with the potential serial killer that they don't know that pulls over wanting a date. My $10 isn't going to be in lieu of anything. They double dip. I learned that the hard way. That's exactly right, Mark. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I don't, Hitman, that's interesting. I really don't know. I think the saddest question that I asked is when I ask people of their favorite childhood memory and they don't have one. That just speaks volumes. Yeah, Lacey's a sweetheart. My understanding, she was charged with some kind of federal crime in Ohio, and she's looking at some big time, but that could just be street bullshit. Yeah. But I mean, you guys can imagine when it takes a young mother to actually get to the point where she turns a blind eye to her children and goes down and sells herself and lives in an abandoned house, something's going on there. This isn't like, you know, deciding whether you're going to eat Cheerios or Cocoa Puffs. This is like a big time behavioral switch that happened for some kind of reason that we may never be privy of. You don't know what the deal is there. Yeah, Raven's a sweetheart. I think she's locked up in Ohio, Greg. You know, Andy, I'm not really sure. I don't, you know, Detroit's always kind of an anomaly to the rest of the state. I mean, you got people on a Friday counting beavers up in West Branch, and down in Detroit, they're putting in new bars on the window because they're worried they're going to get broken into when they go on a 3-day vacation. Detroit's just kind of the odd man out. I'm not down there now. It's just a different place compared to the rest of the state, like the Oziet and Harriet town where I live now. I don't really know, you know? Well, I think one of the big mistakes that Kelly made is she actually bought into that kook's logic out in Las Vegas that was trying to start rumors that I was a serial killer. And she thought that by bashing me and accusing me of getting rich while witnessing the perils of the working girl, addicted person, that it was going to work, and it didn't. It backfired on her. The same thing would happen with that old kook in Prince Edward Island. Basically, nobody pays any attention to her. But at the beginning, they actually garnered some attention. Yeah, Tassie's a sweetheart. She was on here earlier. Tassie's got people in her life, though, that I wish she didn't. I think her long-term sobriety is going to be a tough bill to fill. Oh, were you, Jackie? Oh, good for you. Oh, that was a wake-up call for you, huh? Oh, yeah, it is different, isn't it, Mark? Yeah, sure is. I live in that kind of community you just described. Small farming community. Oh, are they, Andy? Interesting. Huh. Hey, Dolly, how you doing? Well, Celeste, you're going to experience the same thing I do. I have a different relationship with them. To me, I look, and it's that way in life with everybody. Marguerite's just a struggling old drug addicted woman that I try to hand a helping hand to. Where if I was one of her children, I mean, there's a pretty good chance we wouldn't be speaking. So it all depends on how you cross paths and the nature of the relationship with people your whole life. Doing fine, Dolly. Oh, Oak Park, interesting. Oh, okay, Dolly. Well, glad you could join us. Yeah, it's more questions than answers, that's for sure. The big thing is though, it's like, and people get tunnel vision when they want to help somebody, and it's brought up from time to time, and you gotta want to get better. Hey Shane, how you doing? Thank you, appreciate it. You got anything like that going on over there in Dublin? Like my interviews? Pretty good, Mert. I didn't eat any lunch today. Drank a big coffee. Oh, I'm bored. Big time. I agree, Andy. But again, it's a different relationship. You can't compare raising a child to a guy that you see 5 or 10 minutes. It's got a box of chocolates and a $10 bill. Oh, thank you, Dolly. Yeah, I'd like to come down there and check it out, Baton Rouge. It's getting like that everywhere, Stephen. It's not like it's just like certain places. It's all over. Oh, thank you, Stephen. Hey, Stretch, how you doing? Yeah, I know. It's funny if I drink coffee, like a extra big coffee, I don't feel like eating till around 4 or 5. Hanging in there, Ellie. How are you? Yeah, we're kind of in the same lockdown. Oh wow. Yeah. Well, I think it's probably the wrong way to have it happen, but I think drug use everywhere is going down, and that's because you need money to fund it, and When you don't have any customers, you don't have any money. So it would be interesting. I mean, that's the one thing that we'll never really know. I'll just get little bits and pieces from people like Ebony. But I'd like to see the statistics of, these working women in drug use in Detroit after this moratorium is over. It would really be interesting. We'll never get it because no one's keeping track. But boy, this has really put a monkey wrench in their daily activities. Oh, sorry about that, Twist. I believe that, Indy. It just jogged my memory. I was watching a thing on TV the other night, and this lady said that people love Black history, that white people love Black history. It's the blacks they have a problem with. And, that really kind of struck a chord with me. And, when I mentioned that I noticed racism based on the interviews and the way people react, that really kind of made some sense. And I thought back in conversations that I'd had about with people in the past. If you hear they're going to a place like Atlanta, they want to go to the Black History Museum, but yet when they're not there, all they do is bitch about it. That's interesting though, isn't it? And I'm generalizing, that white people like Black history. It's the blacks they have a tough time dealing with. That's interesting. That's a good chat for a daytime. Yeah, you're right. I don't think the homeless will qualify for a stimulus check. I think you had to file an income tax return, which scratch that, Yeah, wasn't that something, Indy? Yeah, characters. That's what I think will happen, yeah. What's that, Neil? Yeah, there's an issue with that. For a while, I was making that one of the questions that I'd ask amongst any working girl that I interviewed. And boy, did that seem to piss a lot of people off. But it's true. There was a preponderance of people, working women and blacks of all races, that didn't want to date black men. I mean, believe me, I'm just the messenger. I asked them why, and they explained it. Angel's interview, particularly, rings a bell. Oh, Twist. Yeah, you're right about that. Oh, okay, 1980. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh my God, really, Shank? That much, huh? Looks like it's getting a little nicer out. No, I never watched that. No. Yeah, I don't know much about them. I watched one once. It's all right, I guess. No, I never watched it. No. No, I never watched that. Yeah, when you get your own channel and you're dicking around. You're blocking people and answering questions and uploading videos. I don't watch other channels like I used to. And that's the way of doing it, Andy. Oh, really, Larry? You know, Walmart will really go after you if they catch you videotaping inside the store. They'll kick you out of there. Yeah, they do get prosecuted, Shane. Yeah, they do. Oh, really, Celeste? That's terrible. Interesting, Andy. That's interesting. Huh. Hey, honey bun, how you doing? Oh, really, Andy? Hitman, the black girls don't want to see black men. They say that they're cheap and aggressive. Go look up the Angel interview. She explains it. Very articulate black girl. She ended up overdosing on heroin, but listen to the way she explains it. Angel. It's under the playlist. YouTube already sent out a notice. If you're talking shit about COVID, they'll block your channel. I'd kick somebody's ass if I saw them coughing in a checkout lady's face. That's right. That's right, James. That's what it is. Yeah. No. Hispanics either, Celeste. Yeah, it's a lot of it. You see those stupid comments I get by those bots? I could do a 2-second video on a toothpick and they'll come on and say, great video. You should have more views. Okay, Graham, look at Angel's interview. Really, Carrie? Hey, True Seeker. Pretty much, Okie. Yep. Yeah, doing pretty well. How you doing? Right on, Larry. That name stuck in my head for some reason. Oh, Twist. That's interesting. I wondered how they were working that. Yeah, you're right, Andy. There you go, Celeste. Hey, Ryan, how you doing? There you go, Starline. Really, Andy? Now, are you working now, Andy? Oh, okay. Yeah, but you can work as long as you want now, can't you? Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I know. Okay, I know what you mean. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, wow, Celeste. Yeah, you're right, James. Oh my God, 1980. Yeah, it'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Oh, interesting, Andy, huh? Huh. Okay, what's that safe room? What is that? Just steel reinforced concrete or something with drywall over it? Like what's done differently to that room? Or is it just in the right corner of the house from where they expect tornadoes to come from? Yeah, me too, Andy. Oh, okay. Now, are there companies that go around and like build those? Is it like a real business that goes around and does it, or do people kind of do it on their own? Oh, interesting. Now, how big would that be about, Okie? No, okay. Oh, wow, Andy. Wow. Yeah, it's true, Andy. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now, have you gotten in yours? How many times have you gotten in yours since you've had it? Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's something, Carrie. Oh, okay. Well, that's good you have that. Huh. Yeah, I heard that, Hitman. Yeah. That's the old Cobo hauler. Yeah. That's a bank sponsorship, Larry. That's what they named Kobo. They changed the name from Kobo to TCF. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Yeah, bank. Yep. No, that's all right, Sean. Probably needed to sleep. Yeah, I heard that, Greg. Yep. Looks like we're getting some more wet weather coming in. See it? It does, Gary. Don't do it. Don't do ibuprofen. Good, Sean. How you doing? Yeah, kind of rainy today. Oh, thanks, 1980. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm not down there. I live a couple 100 miles away, Sean. Next door neighbor kid. Oh, really, Larry? Huh? Yeah, they do. I've told them about the camera. They got a front yard right in front of their house. I don't know why they don't play in their front yard. Say that, hon. Hey, you guys. Quiet, David. Hey, I got a video on. Your mom doesn't want you to be on video. I got a video recording, so I'm doing a chat. You might want to do that on your side. Your mom doesn't want you on there. I tell them all the time. I tell them about, they got their own front yard. I don't know why they come over on this side all the time. What's that, Andy? Yeah, they're really nice kids. Yeah, I get them stuff when I go to a bakery or something. Really nice kids. Well, I think I'm going to sign off here, you guys. Surprise, I'm going to clean some things. Yeah, it sucks, Andy. That's right, May, you're right. Yeah, I'll be on tonight at 9 o'clock, you guys. That works for you. I'll be on at 9. Yeah, I'm going to take her for a walk. That's what I'm going to do before it rains. All right, Larry. See you, Carrie. May. Yeah, I'll be on at 9 o'clock our time. Okay, Andy, take care. Yep, see you at 9, you guys. All right, Starlight. Yep. All right, Hitman. Thanks.